Space Shuttle, this is flight safety. Keep your hands on the handrail or inside the vehicle and remain seated while in motion. You are clear for launch. Have a great flight to Starport 75.
Hey, Glenn.
Hey, Chris, how are you?
Well, I don't want to get too mushy or, morose or anything, but you were nearby a week or so ago, and it was kind of nice.
It was nice.
You know what? It was nice because it was a short trip. So
yes.
But now you're not here, and it's like the sun is gone from my sky, and it's a little sad.
It is.
But to make things a little bit better, apparently we're on a roll. We have another guest today. Is that right?
We do. We certainly do.
Who's joined us today?
Mr. Mystery Guest, why don't you tell us who you are?
Hi, guys. Well, I'm Andrew, and I work with Chris, and I've been a listener for quite a while. So we went to Disney World while you guys were here. Well, Glenn was visiting.
We did.
And,
we did.
So yeah, I've
we'll
known
talk
Chris
about
for
that
a long time, but I've been listening for a while. So
yeah, so Andrew and I worked together, and mainly because for a long time until recently he's worked for me, so he's had to listen to me go on and on and on about my amazing podcast, and I guess I made it sound delightful, and so I said, hey, you want to come join us and talk about our little trip? And for whatever reason he said yeah. So somebody else that we can grill and find out why they like Disney or don't like Disney. We'll solve that mystery in a minute, and then go from there. Talk about our trip. I don't know if we have any news items. Probably not.
No
Nothing's going on
news
over
items today, but we're going to have one heck of a trip report.
Okay, but I also, apparently there's a question on the table about the blue shirt people at Disney. I'll just put that teaser out there.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Somebody write down a note, and let's remember to get back to that. So,
okay.
All right?
Yeah.
So, Andrew.
Yes.
Disney. So, I assume you're a fan if you agreed to be here, but what's your background? And after this, I'm going to let Glenn take over. Because I was told I talked too much last time. So it's all Glenn's.
it wasn't too much.
But anyway, so Disney, do you go often?
Yeah.
Do you like it? When was the first time you went?
Yeah.
All the basic origin story stuff.
Yeah, I grew up about an hour and a half away from Orlando and Disney. So we never took very long trips to Disney, but we took very frequent, day trips. We didn't have annual passes, but we would do like the 4-day passes and where you could go over 6 months. I think starting, I have pictures and video of me at 3 years old at Disney World. I have no memory of it. That was I can invent the memories based off the photos. Then I think we went. I have more better memories, especially at like 8 and 10 years old, because my brothers were 4. And they would have, just kind of the whole logistics of having young kids at Disney World and them hampering my visit because they were twins as well. So it's just, this double stroller and all that goes with that. And then growing up, kind of went, every year or so. And then very recently, I moved to Orlando. Actually, I moved to Orlando 10 years ago. And I've had an annual pass pretty much every year of those 10. And recently, I've been going about monthly with my mom. It's been kind of our thing for the last year and a half to go monthly and kind of visit the parks and spend a day together. So that is my most recent history with Disney.
That's nice. I tell you all the time how lucky your mom is to have have a kid that wants to do that.
She loves it. She talks about how at work, that's so special. You go to Disney World.
Glenn, do you ever take your mom to Disney World? No, you don't.
I have not recently. No.
Yeah. See, so selfish.
We went Friday to Animal Kingdom. So
that's still there.
I love that.
That is our favorite park to go to.
Is it really?
Is it?
It is.
Oh my God. Oh, the last guest loved the Leave a Legacy things, and now you love Animal Kingdom. I need to just shut the hell up.
I've been working on you for Animal Kingdom for a while now, and you still won't even go inside.
No, not out of principle, just out of I don't know. Why do I want to go in there? What'd you say? Bias?
It's like you had a bad experience and you won't return.
But it was, to be in my defense, I had multiple bad experiences. It wasn't like I went once. It was at least twice, and it was terrible. Anyway, It's not
When
about
was
me.
the last time you were there?
I think I mentioned to Andrew earlier today. I think, or yesterday, whatever it was. I think it's been over almost 10 years. I think we went there one time with Evan, but he's my oldest. He's 8.5 now, and I think he was probably 3. So I guess it wasn't as long as I think. He was like 2 or 3. So yeah, it's been a number of years.
Well,
Pre Pandora. Not that would. I don't think that would matter, but
No, that part's pointless.
I don't know, but like this is about Andrew today, but maybe you guys can help me because his words ringing in my ear, like, why don't you go to Animal Kingdom? And I'm like, you know what? Most of the time I do everything Andrew tells me to do, but I'm thinking about it, I'm like, yeah, but the art festival's going on at Epcot, and like it's always just like there are other Galaxy's Edge that we went to, which I assume we'll talk about. It's just it always falls down the stack is all. There's nothing that kind of compels me to go. I don't know. But then you were talking about the aviary and the cool birds and the nest building. And I'm like, I'd like to see that. Sounds awesome.
Yep, and the safari. We
Safari's
will sometimes
awesome.
do the safari multiple times in one visit.
Yeah, you said you saw a lion eating a zebra last time you were there. Was that right?
Because they were trying.
I think I'd go for that. Did they do that daily? Is that like a thing?
it's a scheduled thing. You have to be there at the right time.
All right. Glenn's going to yell at me. So, Glenn, do you have any other questions for our somewhat Mr. Guest?
No questions really.
Wow.
I think it's awesome. I think you go to the parks more than Chris does, which is really cool. What do you say?
I don't know.
Oh, I would be willing to bet.
I think actually, so we'll talk about Galaxy's Edge, but I went probably 6 or 7 times in, when did it open? September?
Oh,
September.
yeah. If we're going to count that run, then yeah. Well, that's...
Because it was empty. It was empty, and you could just, keep riding Smuggler's Run over and over again. So.
It's because he doesn't have... Yeah, do you remember how often we used to go before we had kids, Glenn? As ironic as that sounds. Well, that's Andrew. Andrew just grab my car keys and go to Disney World. Like, that's all he has to do.
And that's awesome.
It's kind of like, after work, check the wait times. All right, I'll try it down there and go.
Are you checking the wait times on Park League?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
good.
I get all kinds of bug reports. Anyway.
All right. Go ahead.
Go ahead. No, you go.
No, this is freeform. So do we want to just recap? Go through the what is it? After Hours at Magic Kingdom first.
Yeah, I think we should talk about that.
Let's do that, and then. But Andrew, have you ever done any of those after hour events, or have you done any of the separately ticketed events like the Very Merry Christmas Party or Not So Scary Halloween Party or anything like that?
I have never paid to go, but I have done the thing where
Why does that
stay
What does that
stay
mean?
in the park after you're supposed to leave, and they'll keep guiding you towards the exit. But no, I've never. I feel like I pay enough for the annual pass to not pay for the extra.
See,
extra
and you know what?
ticketed
You hit,
events.
and I think I said it last time we talked about the Christmas thing, but you hit on my one gripe about it, which is it seems like, and Glenn tells me it's absolutely true, so I believe it, is that they're just double dipping. Like they're just closing the park early and then charging again. It's very frustrating.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But the idiots that we are, we did it.
We did. All right.
Why did we do it, Glenn? Why did we give them more money?
So we did it to. We've talked about it before on the podcast, and we've for a few years now. It's like, hey, why don't we do that when we have a chance? And we finally had the chance.
And did we explain? I'm sorry. Did we explain what it is we're talking about? Which event that we did?
Yeah, well, I'm getting to it.
Okay, please do.
So we did the Magic Kingdom After Hours event on Thursday, the 23rd, January 23rd, I think it was. And it's open it takes place between 8 and 11 p.m., so it's 3 hours. For a non-Florida, non-annual pass holder person like myself, I had to pay $130 plus tax. And then, Chris, I think you got a little bit of a rate.
It was like $99 or something.
Yeah, which is
Just
cool,
under
but
$100.
it's still $100 for 3 hours.
Well, I mean, if you're going to pay for something you've already paid for, it seems sensible you'd get a little bit of discount, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So the whole gimmick with this is that they kick everybody out except for the people who paid for this. And
Gimmick.
from what I've read,
Unless you're me.
yes, exactly. And so they limit the number of tickets that they sell to a maximum of 5,000. So in a park that generally has around 50,000 people a day, well, you're talking about a maximum of 10% of that, right? So the idea was, hey, why don't we go and try to get some good night shots of the park with nobody in it, so that we can get people-less shots, and just see what it's all about. So we did it, and it was pretty good. But well, why don't we? Well, so let's start at the beginning and recap. We got there. You can, with this ticket, you can get in at 7 p.m. So we were at the turnstiles, actually at like 6:50, waiting in line. We got in. You get a wristband, and then you can go in the park. Now the park is still filled with people. It's the park's open till 8 p.m. and the fireworks started at 8 p.m. So we went in, and we just went and got something to eat because, it's still crowded. I didn't really care about getting photos of the fireworks or anything like that. So we just went and ate, and we actually ate at Cosmic Rays and got a table right next to the window so that we could actually watch the fireworks while we ate.
It was the most romantic evening of my week.
It was a happy accident. So,
but wait a minute. You glossed over our first complaint, though.
Did I? Okay.
I expect more from you. So, in the complaint department. So, the first thing, so if anybody does this, they expect this. Is like, for whatever reason, I just assumed, I think you did too, that the restaurants would still be open, right? But we got there and we went traipsing around. We basically did a full circle. Yeah, see, I didn't. We did a full circle of the park trying to find a place to eat. So we went. Where was that? Pecos Bill.
Pecos Bill. Yeah, we started on the complete opposite side of the park. We said let's go to Pecos Bill's because they had some, not just the typical hamburger, chicken finger dinners. They had, they have a little bit of variety there. So yeah, we tried there. We'll get there and guess what?
Closed.
All closed up.
Wait, so you're telling me you paid extra to be in the park for 3 hours?
Listen, if you're going to make me feel worse about myself, you are off the show. You are not allowed here.
And they were closing some of the parts of the park.
Yeah, this is at 7:20. We're talking about. We're not talking about 8:00. The park closes at 8. So at 7:20, we're looking to get something to eat, and everything's closed except for Cosmic Rays.
Wow.
Wasn't there something else or no? Everything.
Casey's corner.
Oh, that's right. We didn't want to do we didn't feel like throwing up.
Yeah.
Long story. Yeah, like we could have been smarter, and like had we not, and see, that's the value people get from the show. Like ahead of time, just look in the app. We're like, hey, dummy, we could have just looked in the app and seen what was open, and we did that, and then realized that good old Cosmic Rays was open. So
yeah.
Yep. Went over there. It was nice though. That place is usually so jammed. Like anytime I've ever been there, it's almost like Animal Kingdom in that every time I've been in Cosmic Rays, it's just been miserable just because it's so like that's like the default thing everybody goes to, I guess, or something. I guess because Fantasyland, Tomorrowland, whatever the reason is. There's always a lot of people there. Yeah. But that night it was practically vacant. So I'm like,
it was nice.
The food still sucked, but the atmosphere was nicer.
That's right.
That guy keeps playing the same songs over and over there. Anyway, so it was a nice table. Like I'm gonna remember that for some other time. So it's like I don't know how to direct people there, but it's like find a table near the window that's on the castle side, and you could see the projection show in the castle and stuff. It was actually pretty good.
Yeah.
And Andrew, we didn't have to pay extra for that. That was included.
That's true.
What watching the projection show from your table?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Okay. Good.
Yeah. Yep. And then as we're standing in line waiting to get our food, we're like, why didn't we just order our food while we're on our way and then pick it up? Because
then we could just picked it up.
Whatever.
So we made many mistakes actually as we go back.
It didn't start
down memory lane.
Chris, Park League doesn't have everything, so you have to switch back and forth between the two.
Well, yeah, I know. Thanks for pointing that out. I'm working on it. So Cosmic Rays. Is what we had even important? It was just that tasteless hamburger thing, right?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. All right. So
then what do
we do?
Yeah, so then the fireworks were over. They started shuffling people out. We started in Tomorrowland to start taking some pictures. Started over really right outside Cosmic Rays, and then moved towards Space Mountain. We both rode Space Mountain. And for the smoothest roller coaster ride ever.
Yeah, so Space Mountain is nice. It's a nice gentle. It's kind of like the People Mover. It's just a nice gentle
Right.
ride through.
Right.
That thing is rough. Like I don't remember. It's been a long time since I rode Space Mountain. I know, terrible of me, but I don't remember it being so jarring. Is it just because I'm old and
No, I've seen like on Twitter, the people say it's pretty rough.
Just
like
compared to
they
like
really
new-
do need to do something.
Yeah, compared to like newer like coaster tech, I guess. Hey, but I did want to mention something, and I hope I don't upset Andrew with this. But Andrew, you did say something I found charming, entertaining, and a little bit insightful to me, because I mentioned to you, I don't know if you remember this. I mentioned to you that Glenn and I were going to go out taking pictures in the park after the park closed, and you looked at me with all honesty, I think, and you said, "In the dark." Do you remember that conversation?
Yes, I did.
Yeah. So, and it struck me funny because like it never even occurred to me that that's kind of a weird situation, but I guess it kind of is to somebody who doesn't do a lot of photography. So Glenn, why were we there at night? Why didn't we just take pictures of the day where we could see everything?
Well, night shots are cooler. All the lights are on.
Case closed.
No, I mean they are, but the drawback, the tough thing is that it's a lot tougher because there's low light. It's a lot tougher to take those photos, and so what that means is you generally need to when you're taking photos, leave the shutter open a little bit longer, and so that usually involves tripods and other things, and when the the park's packed and crowded, they generally don't love you to put up tripods right in the middle of a walkway to try to get a shot. And plus, you're going to get a gazillion people in it, even if it's night. So that's why we wanted to head out at night and try to get some shots.
And this is you using like night mode on your iPhone, the only camera you need.
Oh, that's right.
I think he's baiting you.
That is absolutely correct.
Did you use your iPhone at all, or was it your big?
I didn't. I don't have a cool iPhone 11 Pro X thing.
Oh.
I have an iPhone 8.
And see, that's why you need that big camera.
That's right. I have it exactly. If I had the 11, it'd be a different story.
Wow. Okay. I didn't realize it's so. Yeah, night mode's only in the 11. I'm such a tech elitist. Anyway.
Yeah, I know.
Which actually, though,
I'm
side
well
note,
aware of that.
I'll talk to Andrew since he has one. It works remarkably well. I mean, for a phone. I mean, it's still not the same as setting up the kind of gear Glenn uses, but it actually does a pretty remarkable job.
I agree.
Yeah. Anyway, so Glenn, did you keep going?
Yeah, no. So, so one cool thing by Space Mountain, though, is that they have the new Tron roller coaster bikes.
Vehicle?
Vehicle? Yeah, exactly. So got some shots of that, but also I got on it, and it doesn't, I was thinking, for some reason, I was thinking it operated differently than it actually does. So it's kind of nice that they have them out there so that people can get familiar with them. But you basically lay down flat on your stomach and you pull the handlebars towards you, and there's a thing on the back that comes over and locks you in.
Keeps you from dying.
Yeah. So it's it's going to be super cool, but it was just, I've never ridden a roller coaster like that.
It's like a bicycle.
Yeah.
But more like a motorcycle.
A motorcycle, yeah. And not like a Harley, more like
a sport bike.
They call those crotch rockets.
Yeah, I know. I was trying to be.
Come on, that's still okay.
Yeah,
that's what they're called. Google it. Well, no, don't Google that.
Don't Google crotch rocket.
And we have a show title, just like that. Yeah, actually, the most impressive thing about that time we spent there was that you were able to actually get back off of it. So, kudos to you.
In all seriousness, it did take. I hope that the platform's raised when they actually build this thing, because it took a second to get off.
For the guys over a certain age, it tilts over and just drops you out.
Right, here you go.
Like a spatula in a frying pan.
There are several rides at Disney that you feel very undignified getting out of.
Yeah, well, Space Mountain was one of them.
Yeah, Space Mountain was I had to basically throw my bag out and climb out, like almost crawl on the ground to get out.
Andrew, I'm glad you said that because as we were getting off of Space Mountain, there was probably 20-something, maybe she was college program kind of thing, who was manning the exit of the people getting out. And I'm like, I know she's just rolling her eyes at this old guy trying to get out of the Space Mountain thing, struggling with his stupid camera bag and stuff.
Yeah, they really should look away while you do it.
There should be like a curtain, right? Like a little privacy.
Can you please not watch while I exit the vehicle?
Every time I get on that ride, I'm like, man, these cars were definitely made for people in the 60s because people in the 2010s are too big for these. At least I was. Anyway, I interrupted, as I usually do. What were we talking about?
Pictures?
Just
Yeah, just the...
the ride vehicles, right?
Yeah.
And the track's pretty, it's pretty vertical now, right? Like it's
pretty much.
You can see some of it.
Think
a lot of it.
I could be wrong, but I believe the track is done, and now they're just building around it.
I'm less excited about the Tron roller coaster. I just want them to fix the railroad. That being out of commission, it puts a really big damper on the way I like to do that park. So.
Oh, do tell. You can't leave us hanging. What do you like to do?
We always start on the railroad to take it back to Fantasyland.
That's smart.
And then start from that way instead of going down Main Street. I don't know why, but that is how we start that park.
That's actually pretty cool.
It is.
It's kind of sad to just see the train just kind of sitting there, just doing nothing.
Yeah, but you can go up to it, right? You can go up and...
Yeah, you can get on it. It won't take you anywhere.
Well, no, I think that I read that if you go and the engineers are there, they'll actually let you in the engine and show you how it operates and everything else.
Can you do the toot
that
the
horn
special
thing?
It was I don't know that you can blow the horn, but when we went to Disneyland in 2016, it was out because they were getting ready for Galaxy's Edge, and we did that. We saw I got to see the Lily Bell car at the end of the caboose, and we got to talk to the engineers. The kids got little engineer and training cards or something like that, and it was cool. It was really cool.
Oh, that was your second trip where you actually took children?
Yes, the second trip.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, I agree with you. That train needs to run again. I can't hear it from my house, which really upsets me. I don't get my little dopamine hit every time I hear it.
So then when we're done with Space Mountain, we left Tomorrowland, but in leaving Tomorrowland, we saw the new Tomorrowland sign.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about it. I'm glad you took notes.
The new old
that's right.
Tomorrowland sign.
The new regurgitated sign.
That's right.
That's what I call it. Which have you seen? You've seen it at obviously, Andrew, because you go there all the time. You've seen the new sign, right?
Yes. I like it.
Yeah.
And you can notice all the fins being removed. The steampunk.
Mm-hmm.
What is it? Future punk fins that they have on the side of the people mover. So those are all gone, or not all gone, but going.
Yeah.
Like plastering and painting. To hide all of the evidence of those ever being there. So, yeah.
It still surprises
improvements
me.
in Tomorrowland.
Yeah. Still surprises me they're doing so many changes that they're not really marking. It's not like new Tomorrowland coming 2020.
Yeah, I like it, though. I like that they're doing it because it's kind of like a surprise.
Oh, I'm fine with it. But it's just very un-Disney-like. Usually they try to make there's a commercial out of it or something. But no, I like it. I like that sign much more in person than I did in photos that I had seen.
I agree.
In the photos, it looked more regurgitated than it did in person. So
yeah,
at least to me. But what do I know? Cool. Did you get any good pictures of it? I haven't even seen your pictures yet.
Still going through all of them. So I think I got one that's halfway decent. I mean, it's not. It looks just like everybody else's. So
I was gonna say I just go download them off Instagram now.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, coming home and looking at everything, it's like okay, been done before. So then we left Tomorrowland, and then we stopped in front of Cinderella Castle to take some shots. And Chris, I think you have a great story about this.
I forgot all about this. Oh no! Now I'm going to be on my time for my OK Boomer rant. Is there any theme music for this? Like like one of those old timey piano themes you can kind of like play me on?
I'm gonna have to do that. Yeah, get the Main Street piano player.
Yeah, like they did with the silent movies or something. And
right
now, time for Chris's rant. So I don't know if I can drum up the same hatred and vitriol I had when the first time I saw this, but I'll try to replay it, and maybe you can help me out. Andrew, I think I complained to you already about this too.
It was really good vitriol. So
I'm gonna try and do it justice.
Please.
So we're at the castle. I'm getting mad. This is good. So we're at the castle, and I'm there being the good poor photographer that I am. I have my camera, and I'm waiting for people to get out of the way. I had a particular shot I wanted to try and do. By the way, the shot didn't come out anyway, so it was a complete waste of time. But so I'm standing there, and I'm waiting, and there's this what just looks like a mom and a daughter kind of thing, just based on age range or whatever. And mom has one of them great iPhones that we're talking about. And it might have been an Android phone. I don't know. It doesn't matter. But she was taking a picture with it of her daughter. And her daughter was just doing this cute little sweet pose. Like I'm in front of the castle. And, like the Instagram pose. Like the kind of like you just fell out of an airplane and you just landed softly on the ground. You know what I'm talking about? Like you have your hand. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? I need some feedback here. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? Like you just kind of floated down from the sky and your hands are up. And you're like, oh, it's so wonderful.
What's Instagram?
What's Instagram?
Yeah.
Okay, boomer.
That's normally how I pose for every picture.
It's like postcards. Yeah, you do. At least she didn't do like the chin on the hands kind of thing. If you guys could see it.
Not right.
It's a shame there's no video, but you get the idea. But it was the sweet little Instagram. My life is so much better than your pose. That's the key of the whole thing, right? It's the pose that with their eyes they're saying. I was going to use a word you won't let me use in the show, but like, screw you all, friends of mine. I'm at Disney World and you are not. And I'm like, okay, but she looked like she was probably somewhere between 17 and 20-ish, right? In that age range. What I found most striking was mom took the picture and immediately the daughter's face changed to like anger. And she like stomped over to her mom. She's like, "You're doing it wrong. You didn't, She's telling her mom to use a flash, which, by the way, photography nerd in me, this is a complete wrong direction she should have been giving. But she's like, no, you got to use the flash or the night mode or whatever stupid thing. And she stomped back over in front of the castle and then put on her sweet little Instagram face again and waited for her mom to take her next picture. And this went on about 4 or 5 rounds of this. And I was nauseated. And then I'm looking around to my left. And I look to my right. And what do I see? I see about 4 or 5 other people that are doing the same damn thing. Do you understand what I'm saying? So this upsets me because all of these people were staging these photos for a particular to create an envy and to create kind of negative feelings in the people that would look at these pictures. They were all fake. They weren't just like in the olden days, like when back when we just invented cameras when I was young. And they were just like, you take snapshots, and like there was more of a genuine, I'm happy to be here, let's take a snapshot. And now there's so many that are all staged. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it was the quick change from the, oh, I'm so happy at Disney World, my life is so awesome, to mom, you're so stupid and you're doing this wrong. That I'm like, wow, that's it. Really, when people listen to me, when you're flipping through the Instagram and you're looking at all the pictures and like, oh, everybody's having such a great life and they're sitting naked in a hot tub in some New York hotel somewhere, they're probably not having as great a time as it seems.
Chris, are you telling me there are lies on the internet?
I'm telling you, Andrew, that not everything is true on the internet. No, but it's more the reason, like she was just a nasty young lady to her mom who was the sweetest. I don't know, honey. I'm just trying to do, I haven't, I don't know. It's your phone. No. And the most humorous part to me though was that mom turned around, saw me there. She's like, "Would you mind taking our picture?" Because mom wanted a genuine picture with her nasty daughter and her at Disney World, right? And I said, "I'd be glad to." And that little girl started telling me what to do with the camera, like how to take the picture. Her first mistake.
Did you turn on the flash for her?
And I threw the camera on the ground and I stomped it with my foot. But her mom looked at her little nasty daughter and said, "Honey, look at the camera he has. I think he knows what he's doing." And I'm like, thank you, Mom. Anyway, I don't know. Did I get enough anger out on this? It just, but the main point of this it was just like, I don't know. Does this bother either of you guys, or is this just my little pet peeve?
No, it certainly bothers me.
I've heard from you, Andrew. What do you think?
I had not noticed it until your rant. But
Seriously?
I did see it a lot at Animal Kingdom on Friday. So that was something I was noticing. I was like, look at all these people just these poses and then quickly not posing or But I didn't notice anyone doing the corrections but it was just this, and they were always doing these photos for weird places too. It wasn't always like the most obvious photo place. It's like, here's this wall. Here is this fence with, trees behind it. And I was like, what is this photo for?
Well, Glenn, I was half kidding to cut you off, but only because we complained about it before. But I mean, what does it bother? Does it bother you? Should I just get over it?
The thing is, once you once you see it though, you'll always see it. You'll always notice it. It's crazy because I follow a ton of Disney people on Instagram, and I do get that fear of missing out, right? Because it's like, oh man, look at all these people. They're having a great time.
Everybody's life is amazing, right?
They got the new ice cream cone that they're going to have for 2 days at whatever, and it's like, man, look at everything I'm missing. But you're right. You're there and you look at it and they spend how much time trying to get that photo and it's like, okay, well then, are you really enjoying yourself or not? Well, what are you trying to do?
Yeah, and that's kind of my point. Thank you. You said it so much better than I did. Is that those two, that mom and the daughter, they were not enjoying themselves, but yet they were. She was trying to. And I shouldn't say they. The daughter was trying to put on a show like it was just the most amazing thing. Look at me, and it just I don't know. I can't change people. That's just how people are. I get it, especially late teens, whatever. They're going to be that way. But I'm sure there are many others that are outside that age range. But and again, it's because I'm an old guy that I remember back in the day when when we didn't have so old when we didn't have Instagram. We had to go to the Fox Photo. No, a little more recent than that. But people would go on their trip and they would post to a photo album somewhere. But it was more genuine. It was more like fans of Disney kind of sharing, oh my gosh, we went in Adventureland and they have this new Club 33. Did you guys ever hear this? Like it would just seem more genuine to share what was happening in the park. And now it's more just sort of show off for the wrong reasons.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know. I've posed for a lot of photos where I don't think I was having a particularly great time at the moment that the photo was being taken.
You mean like when you were a kid, long ago?
Especially it's family photo. We're gonna stand in front of this thing, and everyone has to look happy. And my brothers hated it even worse. So much so that they don't like going to Disney. I think that they've had and I don't know that they have been in probably as long as I've been here in Orlando. They have not gone since our childhood, and they won't. They will not choose to go.
I've kind of noticed that people that grow up here, they get Disney's very polarizing. Either they grow up to be big Disney fans, or they grow up to absolutely hate it. It doesn't seem like people end up kind of in the middle ground. So I don't know. So clearly, you're the good son, is what I'm hearing out of this.
Oh yeah.
Okay. All right. That's what I got out of it. Yeah, I hear what you're saying.
I take my mom to Disney World.
I know.
Definitely
I mean,
good son.
How could
all Glenn does is say, "Mom, will you take me to? When are you going to take me to Disney World?"
That's right.
So, but I get your analogy, but even that I think was a little bit more genuine because they were, in most cases, I don't want to speak for your family, but I think in most cases they were trying to create pictures for the album so that it was for yourselves. It wasn't to go necessarily show off to randos on the internet. But I don't know. Whatever. You had to be there. If you were there, you would have known. Keep looking around. You'll see them. These people. It was just everywhere. We were surrounded by it. Anyway, did I complain enough? You can cut all that out, but it felt good to get angry about it again. But my favorite part was I think he knows what he's doing. I'm like, damn right.
That is the best by far.
I didn't, by the way. I had no idea what I was doing, but I think it was an Android phone. That's why I remember it, because I'm like, where's the button? How do you do this? Can I touch this? Am I allowed to?
Didn't you say when you gave it back, she was like, "Oh, look at this"?
She looked at it and but I know what I'm doing. I know I can. It's not just spending money I do well. I know how to use too. All right, so my rando. It's not Instagram's fault. I don't mean to pick on that. Instagram's fine. It's just sharing pictures. It's more about people's motivation of what they're showing and why they're showing it. So her mom should have just taken a picture of her being a witch and posted that. Parents' Instagram. All right. What did we do after that? Was I just so angry I just turned and left at that point? I'm like,
No. So then we moved over to Liberty Square, got some shots, went to Haunted Mansion. I rode Haunted Mansion by myself.
What?
You were...
Wait, hang on. What's wrong with that?
What? But why wouldn't you ride it with him?
Glenn, number one. Two, I know people
we
love
could
that.
sit in the same car.
Yeah, you tend to get handsy in those situations. So, and I was afraid they wouldn't let me do a separate car. I don't know.
I was by myself. What are you talking about? Like they welcomed me in. It was like, hey, we have somebody.
Yeah, I know this is heresy. It's not my favorite ride. I know it's just like.
All right, moving on. So then I got some shots of the actual mansion.
No, wait, no. I need to defend myself.
No, there's no defending.
I'm not speaking to you.
It's actually not even about the ride. It's just
I'm not
you guys
talking
went to Magic Kingdom together.
I'm talking to Andrew.
and then he got on the ride, and it's not like one of these rides where you have to wait a long time, or
Did I? Well, no, but here's
just got on and sat with it. Like
I'll tell you
even if you don't like the ride.
I'll tell you why. Number one, there was nobody there. Like it was like Glenn mentioned before that the maximum tickets are like 5,000, but I think it was probably half of that. So there was nobody there. I love Liberty Square, and Liberty Square is always back when I used to, love America. I love Liberty Square, but it's always so mobbed with people, and there's nobody there. And I knew Glenn was going to go take pictures of the Haunted Mansion. I think the main reason to ride it was that at the end you were going to take some pictures or something, right?
That's exactly. Well, yeah. So real quick, I went in to go take pictures, and I realized, oh, wait a second, like I'd have to go in the exit to really get because of where the chains were and the lines going. And I said, well, instead of just going, why don't I just go and ride it, and then I'll end up where I want to be. And so, yes, that's part of the reason I wrote it.
Yeah, so I knew he was going to do pictures, and I didn't really feel the need to get pictures. And I'm like, you know what? I'm tired. I'm just going to sit and relax. So I just sat in like for whatever it was, half an hour, 40 minutes, just enjoyed Liberty Square. It was great.
Yeah,
it was nice. Don't judge me. It was fun.
No judgment.
Andrew's not saying anything. Okay. I think he's still judging. I hear judgment. Yeah. Are you a Haunted Mansion fan, Andrew? Is it like where does it rank for you?
It's not in the top, but it is probably one of the ones we always do.
Yeah.
You appreciate it, right?
Yeah.
Wait, who are you asking?
Andrew.
Yeah.
Oh, well, you didn't ask me. Ask me.
I'm not going to ask you.
Of course, I totally get the history of it, and technically, I get it. I just don't, I'm not like a big Halloween guy, spooky, whatever. It scares me. I get scared.
All right.
And I feel bad for that little dog. He's so hungry. Give him some food. Anyway, so we did that. I hung out. I think I did a video call with somebody just to rub it in because I hear that's what you're supposed to do. And then what did we do? Hall of Presidents? Is that what we did after that?
Yeah. We no, that was closed. But I did get some shots of Liberty Square. Then we moved into Frontierland. Took a quick shot of the one and only Country Bear Jamboree.
Wait, hold on. Pause. Andrew, Country Bear Jamboree?
Man.
Thumbs
Absolutely
up?
not.
Thumbs down? Absolutely not. Aha.
Right.
Never.
All right,
never.
So then,
wow,
I
never.
have done it, but never again.
So then we kept walking towards.
There's a thing with their eyes that is
Right?
just very unsettling.
And the fact that nobody can understand what kind of humor that is. What is that? I don't know if you heard the show, but just to recap it because it was fun. The one time I took my 8-year-old there, in the middle of the show, he looked at me and he just said, "What is happening?" I'm like, I don't know, man. It's bears and whatever. And at the end, his eyes were just like saucers. He's like, okay. And that was it. And ever since, I'm like, you want to go on Country Bear? He's like, no way. So, sorry, Uncle Glenn.
That's fine. Actually, I'll be interviewing new co-hosts starting tomorrow.
Well, that's all right. I hope you pay them better.
Oh, man. All right. So then we went through and went to Adventureland. We did not step foot in Fantasyland at all. Which, anyway, this whole thing, we ended the night in Adventureland, and we were pretty much at the 11 o'clock mark when we were by Pirates of the Caribbean, and then took a few shots, and then we ended up on Main Street. This event, for as much as you pay, it really should go to 4 hours. Like,
yeah, I'd agree with that.
But if
they went to 4 hours, they would just increase the price.
Well, and that's fine. You know what? I don't care. That's fine. I think 4 hours is a sweet spot. I think even if you were going, and forget the photos, right? If you wanted to go and try to ride as much as you could, I still think just with the length of some of the rides, it takes a long time to do some of these, and and just to walk from place to place, for goodness sake, you know.
I kind of agree with that. I mean, if that's your goal, like it's
Yeah.
almost a better investment to spend that $130 than the $100 for like the full day pass,
Yeah,
depending
But
on
with
what you wanted.
but within 3 hours, I don't know that. I mean, how many could you really get done?
Yeah, and not everything was open, like you said, right?
Well, not everything, but I mean, most of the big ones were. But
Andrew,
anyway,
I'm
go ahead.
still curious. How does Andrew get away with this? Don't they shush you out of there? Because I think when we were there, they were like, "Okay, out of here, you people."
yeah, they want you to want you to stay to spend some money on Main Street, and so you can mill about a little bit, but you can't go on anything because they're checking wristbands.
Right. Yeah, it's kind of like this. Don't try to move deeper into the park because they're a little bit more noticing of that. As long as you're kind of generally moving back to front, they're good with that. And you can't get on any rides.
Gotcha. Yeah.
But if you're shopping, they won't kick you out of the
please
store.
take your time.
Hey. I don't need to sleep tonight, guys. Yeah, keep shopping.
But we did, to your point about 3 hours though. We did, and we could have stretched out even more. But like kind of like Andrew was saying, is like you just kind of hang back a little bit. Like if we had, what am I trying to say? If we'd hit the 11 o'clock, was that the end of it? Yeah. If we'd hit the 11 o'clock mark and we were back by like Liberty Square or Fantasyland, then we could have strung another whole hour out of kind of like moseying up, right?
Yeah, we could have, but I think at that point they're a little more aggressive of sweeping the park from back to front. So I don't know how long. Maybe by the castle we could have lingered a little bit longer, but I think they pretty much cleared the lands out a little bit more aggressively.
Yeah, and I guess if your main attraction is riding rides, then they probably stop running those, right?
Close. Yeah, exactly.
Okay. I just like being in the park with so few people in it.
Yeah,
like,
man.
That's all I want to be there for.
All right, so that was pretty much it. I mean, to me, it was worth it. Like I said, I wish it was like maybe 1 hour more, but even so, I had a fantastic time. It was worth the amount of money I paid simply because of the limits that they put on the number of people in there. I mean, you had the park to yourself.
Yeah, you forgot one of the benefits though. They were giving away free
that's
snacks,
right.
free water and free snacks.
Free water, free ice cream, and free popcorn, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they had various carts around the park where you could just go up and like, oh, take a Coke and a Mickey bar, and they're like, here you go.
Yep.
So it was nice. I mean, I didn't get $130 worth of Mickey bars, but I could have.
$130.
Well,
you get $99.
I don't think you were doing it right.
I could have.
Right.
Now that I think about it.
We did mess that one up.
Oh, well. Next time.
So
would you do it again,
Next time, bring a cooler.
Yeah.
You would do it again?
Yeah. So next time, yeah, no kidding. Next time, I mean, now that I know what it is, and I think I would put together a shot list of what I really wanted to do, because I was just walking around and I was like, wee, but I would have a better plan of what I wanted to do and take shots of and really move. But yeah, no, it was great, and yes, I would absolutely do it again.
For me, this falls into a category kind of like watching The Circle on Netflix, which is it's something I enjoyed, but I hate myself for enjoying it. Kind of like I hate myself for having paid extra money for something that I've already paid for.
I know, and it is a little bit tougher, Andrew, like you said earlier. I mean, you already paid enough to Disney, like why pay extra? And I can see that if you live there and you're an annual pass holder.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's like you can chance it and just go late in a day, when they don't have a special event going on, and you could probably, as people, want to see the fireworks, and you can hit the lands in the back, and I'm sure it empties out a good bit. So you could do a kind of a fake after hours event type thing, just on your own. So I could see that, but for me, for somebody who's coming in, I don't get to go that often anymore. Yeah, it was definitely worth it.
Yeah, in my case, I remembered how much I enjoy the park at night, and I need to start taking the family out. We stopped doing it when the kids were younger, just because bedtimes or whatever. Yeah. But I think we need to change it and start going out there much, much later, because it's so much nicer.
And it helps tire them out so they can...
Yeah, it doesn't seem to work on my kids. No, they're still brats. Yeah, I don't know. All right. So it sounds like you would do again. I would do again. Andrew's like, no, I'm not an idiot. That's kind of how I chalk this up.
Right.
I'll stay as long as they'll let me the next time.
Yeah. Okay.
There
gotcha.
you go.
All right. Fair enough.
Especially
All
if
right,
we're not riding Haunted Mansion, just there's no reason to get the $100 pass.
All right. Fine. All right. We're just starting this weekend, and I'm exhausted.
I know, right?
We haven't even gotten to the part where I was involved.
I know, but we'll get there rapidly. So
we'll breeze through that. Thank you, Andrew. Thanks for coming by.
all right. So the next day, I went out to Epcot to spend the day there until early evening, and it was great. I was by myself, took a bunch of pictures, got to see the Epcot experience. I was excited about that. I also saw the two of the three new movies that they have there. I saw Awesome Planet and Canada Far and Wide. I did not. I was in France, and I had every intention of going to see the Beauty and the Beast sing-along, but I just could not bring myself to do it.
Yeah, because you're a grown man.
Yeah,
in a theme park.
well, and that did factor into it. Yeah,
Yeah.
it did, and so I did not see that. But I will say that the Canada movie is so it's narrated by Eugene Levy and Catherine O'Hara, and so I thought it was going to be kind of because the Martin Short movie was more comedic than traditional Disney travelogue, if you will. So I thought it'd be kind of along those lines, but I think they did a phenomenal job with it. They were pretty straight with it. They did have a couple jokes here and there, but it was a mixture kind of between a nice blending of the Martin Short and the original. It showed more of Canada, and so I enjoyed it. I thought it was a great addition, a great change. As much as I love Martin Short, I think this is much better. And then the Awesome Planet movie.
Wait, a quick question on the
ahead.
Canada movie. And I'm asking for a friend.
Sure.
Did they give any tips on how to emigrate to Canada? Did they give any?
They did not.
Did they have? You know what they should do? They should have just a stack of papers there, right at the Canada Pavilion that people can fill out.
A little station,
Yeah,
They should.
just a little kiosk. Just fill this out, and you can be a Canadian.
That's right.
All right. I just made a lot of friends.
Is that
with
how it works?
I
do. It actually doesn't. It's actually a lot tougher than that because
Yeah,
I've
it
had friends of mine actually seriously look into it, and it is a lot more difficult.
Is that true? Other than me? Because I know I mentioned it. Right?
Yes.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was disappointed to hear you have to give up your citizenship, which makes sense.
Yeah,
but
it's a whole thing.
Yeah. Anyway. Yeah. Still, they should have a little kiosk there, like a waiting list, just if you're interested,
Just in case.
Yeah, just in case. Anyway. All right. So the Circle of Life movie, would you see?
Yeah. So the Circle of Life movie, this replaces it. It's called Awesome Planet, and it's narrated by oh my goodness,
somebody.
He plays Phil Dunphy on Modern Family.
That guy.
I feel so bad that I don't know his name.
Andrew, do you know his name?
Absolutely not.
Okay, so that guy, and so he narrates as a real estate agent trying to sell the benefits of living on Earth to you, right?
Oh, okay.
So it actually that sounds goofy, but it actually comes off really, really well. They did a really good job. The images are beautiful. So it's definitely worth a watch. Unlike the previous whatever that was, the Circle of Life. I saw that I think once right after it opened, and it didn't impress me. But anyway, this is a much better replacement. And so that was cool. So that's pretty much what I did in Epcot. Walked around, went through all the countries, saw the Festival of the Arts. It was pretty good. Pretty much the same as the last couple times I went.
Should I go? I'm thinking of going. Should I go there or Animal Kingdom this weekend? Where should I go?
I would because it is the shortest festival. I would suggest going there.
See, this is what always happens. All right.
So, this episode is sponsored by Park Leap. Do you hate waiting in lines for your favorite rides at Disney World, Universal, and Disneyland? Of course you do. Everyone does. Park Leap tracks current wait times for attractions in real time, analyzes them, and gives you immediate guidance on what to ride now and what to skip for a shorter wait later on. Park Leap saves you time so you can do more, see more, and ride more. Many theme parks provide their own apps, which is great, but they only report the times. You only get information, you don't get guidance. Is that 40-minute wait good or bad? ParkLeap can tell you. ParkLeap also includes an interface that is clean, quick, and easy to use. Many vacationers travel to multiple theme parks. Now one app does it all. Whether you're a local resident, an annual pass holder, or travel great lengths once a year or every few years, you want to make the most of your time and money. This is the app to get to help you do that. Get ParkLeap in the Apple App Store. And thank you to ParkLeap for sponsoring Starport 75.
Okay.
And then, okay, here's what
Chris,
everybody, what all of,
There are
Go
2
ahead.
days in the weekend.
That's
no,
true,
actually,
Chris.
Smarty Pants. Actually, there aren't because I got to take my son to a birthday party on Saturday. So
There's always
no,
something.
there's not. Well, that's the thing with the kids. It's always the kids. Stupid. I could enjoy Disney World so much better without the kids. Anyway, yeah. Then what happened? So did you take the boat over to? Because you're going to go over to the studios. Did you
So
take the
this
boat
is
over?
what the listeners have been waiting and waiting.
Did you take an Uber?
For.
What'd you do?
So
One of those minivans?
Glenn took
I love those things.
the Skyliner.
What? The hater? Glenn, the Skyliner hater?
Glenn took the Skyliner.
Wow.
For this show, so that
Did it-
I could give a first-hand report back.
All right.
Did,
so
did it
I'm-
hurt?
It
Did you enjoy it?
not,
Wait, no, no, no.
It hurt my it did bruise my ego a little bit because I had to say I had to eat a little bit of crow, but it's not bad. It's not bad.
I want to reach this microphone and punch you right now.
It
So
was pleasant. Now, it was also January 24th, so it's not July 17th.
bad. Oh, I see what you did there.
We
Okay.
did, yeah, you like that. We did stop for about 5 minutes on my first leg of
and
the
were you
trip.
like, oh, here we go. Here comes.
Well, yeah,
gonna
I'm
be up
like,
here for
oh,
4 hours now.
where's that emergency kid? I'm looking at, and so, but no, it was okay.
Do I like my seatmates here?
Well, that's what I'm like. All right, this family, like, who's, are they going to eat me first, or like what's the situation?
How long are you going to be up there?
Well, that's the question.
Nobody knows. That's the whole
So
thing.
it was only about 5 minutes, but it was pleasant. It was breezy. And then when you're going with the vents open, there's a nice little breeze that goes through there. It is quiet. It was nice. Now I did, because I was a single rider, and they just shoved me in with others, so I had to sit with my back toward forward motion the whole time. So I never really saw the direction I was going, and I'm afraid of heights, and so that was probably better that I didn't see where I was going. It was just like, oh, okay, there's this nice smooth ride, and I know I'm moving.
Yeah, so as you're falling, you're not quite sure where you're going to land. Could be water. Could be the
Well,
ground.
that's true too. And it's like, if something does happen, then I won't see it coming. So okay, good. But yeah, so so I was going from Epcot to Hollywood Studios, and I stupidly got off at the first transfer station, which I didn't realize I could just stay on the car. So I got off and got back in line, and then we had to get off at Caribbean Beach to get on the separate line to go to Hollywood Studios, and then went to Hollywood Studios. It took, even with the stopping, it took about 25 minutes to get from Epcot to Hollywood Studios, which, if I'm going and standing in line for a bus or even a boat, that's probably about the same amount of time it would take me to do either of those. So
I was thinking the boat trip would have been faster, but the actual trip would have been faster. But you've been waiting for the boat, for
right,
some
exactly,
time.
because I don't think they have that many boats.
That boat, because of the stops it makes, it takes about 20 to 25 minutes.
Does it
Yeah,
really?
I can believe that.
That's
Yeah.
that's been a long
Because
time.
there's
since
3 stops along the way.
Does it do? Yeah, I guess it does. It does all those stops from Epcot back to the studio. For some reason, I have it in my head. It only does those like in one direction, but I guess
No, in both,
that would be
yeah.
stupid. Yeah.
And it's a lot hotter because
Yeah,
on the
that's
water,
true.
like,
That
muggier and hotter.
the inside that boat, the friendship it gets pretty toasty and sweltery more than toasty.
Sweltering. So Andrew, you did that same run, right, from Epcot to studios?
Oh yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, I'm glad to hear that you rode it. Did you ride the monorail on your Magic Kingdom trip?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. I was just wondering. Ferry or,
and we lived to tell about it.
Well, we did monorail there and then ferry back.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I think the Skyliners are a great addition to their transport system. It feels really good. You mentioned you were in France, and could you see the Skyliner? It's pretty well hidden. It's not like right in the park.
Right. It is. I mean, once they open the back area for Ratatouille, then it's obviously going to be way, right there in your face. But no, I actually took, because I took a conference call in France, and so I was sitting back by the construction wall.
I thought you meant on the Skyliner. It's like, pardon me, folks, I need to take a conference call.
And so I was
elevator etiquette. You can't take a phone call on the Skyliner.
That's right. So I was sitting back by the construction wall, out of the way of everybody. And from where I was sitting, that's pretty much the only place you can see the Skyliner. So I was watching it. But other than that, if you're just in France proper or the rest of Epcot, no, you really can't see it. And that was one of my fears, was that, it would take away from the, Morocco, right? And you see the Skyliner behind it. But no, you can't see it at all. They did a really good job of hiding it.
Yeah, I'm hopeful that they will expand the network of those.
Like from the TTC
I wouldn't be surprised if they did.
Like from the TTC, the Magic Kingdom.
They really needed to go to Disney Springs.
Yeah. I don't know the volume of that one though. That could be bad.
Well, bad meaning too crowded or
too crowded. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like I wonder what the throughput limit on that kind of.
That's true. And that's the other thing is it really didn't take that long. The line kept moving. It really didn't take. There was a line everywhere I went, but the line moved pretty quickly.
Yep.
Gosh, such a convert. You were such a hater.
I got to give a thumbs up to the Skyliner.
You know what? I applaud you for admitting I was right. I give you a lot of credit for that.
That's right. Andrew was right. That's right.
This is item number 1 on my list of changes. Or Andrew was right for this trip.
All right, and then what? You just went home, right? That was the end of the day.
Yeah, no. So then I went to Hollywood Studios, and that's where you and I met up. We went to Star Tours, and then as we got off Star Tours, the one and only Andrew joined us.
I couldn't believe it. I invited him earlier. He said, "Yeah." I'm like, "There's no way he's doing this," but kudos to him.
Yeah, came right after work, and Chris was like, "So you were able to get off work this early?" I was like, "Yeah."
Well, nice cushy job you have.
Yeah.
Yeah. So do you guys forget there's like another rest of that park? To me it's just Galaxy's Edge now. I don't even think about the rest of the park. But
well, I mean, I personally I like Hollywood Studios. I like the other things, Rock and Roller Coaster, Tower of Terror. I do like the rest of the park, but I agree 100% with you. Once you're in Galaxy's Edge, you're not in Hollywood Studios. You are on Batuu. I mean, it is there's no sense of anything else around you.
Well, we've talked about Galaxy's Edge before, but we've never heard from Andrew. And
that's right.
He has logged way more. Do they call them days in the galaxy? Way more sols? What do they call
cycles?
Them? Cycle. Whatever. He spent way more credits in Galaxy's Edge than we have. So what are your thoughts about Galaxy's Edge?
I have not bought a lightsaber or.
Oh, okay. Fair enough. Fair enough.
Again, I avoid giving any extra money to Disney.
You really don't. Wow, you're like
it is my annual pass, and then nothing
that's
more.
That's so the opposite of us. We almost treat like the pass as the permission to go buy things. Anyway, what are your thoughts on Galaxy's Edge? How many times we'll start off with this just to give folks a feel for your level of expertise. How many times would you say you've been on Smuggler's Run at this point?
Yeah, I did a count because I was keeping notes of how long it was taking to go through the ride, and so I have 32 logged ones, but I don't know more than that.
Wow.
Some other.
Did you hear that, Glenn? 32.
I know.
How many times have you been on there?
2.
Yeah. All right. So how do you feel about Galaxy's Edge? I think you're somewhat of a Star Wars fan, right? Not like a nerd, but you like Star Wars, right? Just so we know a starting point.
Yeah. I've seen all the movies and own box sets and.
Okay. Maybe more of a nerd than I thought.
Yeah.
All right. So what are your thoughts about Galaxy's Edge? What?
I kind of like what Glenn was saying, where once you're in Galaxy's Edge, it does not feel like Disney. Like it's the quality of Disney and the theming, that level of immersion, but it's really like stepping onto a different planet. I mean, it's still just Orlando weather, and everyone speaks English and everyone looks human, but there's just this level of detail and sense of otherworldness in there, and really not feeling like you're even in a theme park, to the point the way that the costumes are, the way that they the stalls, the where you buy things, it feels way more like a market. And I've been really impressed. I haven't been able to ride Rise of the Resistance yet. I need to as well, I think.
Yeah, I still haven't been on it.
Nope.
So that's my one. I wish that was able to I was able to even just stand in line instead of having to get there at 6:30 to open the park, which is unlikely to happen.
Somebody told me that maybe Glenn, sorry to interrupt, Andrew. I do it all the time. Just on the note, somebody told me that Rise of the Resistance might be. Wait, no. Yeah, that they might be changing that to a Fast Pass structure. Have you heard anything like that?
No, Smuggler's Run goes on Fast Pass February 12th, I think.
Yeah, maybe that's what they were thinking of. Anyway, sorry. All right, Andrew, go ahead.
Yeah, I think the boarding pass group thing might be changing to where it's like a normal, like even like Smuggler's Run, where you can at least just get in line.
Just a line.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you guys think that's good or bad? Do you think that'll make things better, worse, say?
At least I'd have a chance of waiting in a 2-hour line at night versus having to wait 2 hours before the park opens.
True.
And then wait for your boarding pass group.
Exactly. Yeah, okay. It's not like right. Once you get your boarding pass, you're not done.
Right.
You still have to wait for that boarding pass to get called.
You still have to go out and enjoy yourself.
Right.
So,
all right.
So I think it's better. I mean, I'm not saying the boarding pass thing is bad. It's just not it's not conducive to the way I visit the park. So
yeah. Okay. Fair.
Which is like after work saying, all right, what are the wait times for this park? Do I want to make the 45-minute jaunt over there and get in line? So, but yeah, that park and that and Smuggler's Run, I've enjoyed it. It does get pretty repetitive. I heard that their intention was to have more than one experience. That there was supposed to be about 3 different kind of missions that you could go on, which would have, I think, made the whole thing, just elevated it. But they really wanted to focus on the first one. This is just, I think, rumors or kind of based on.
I think they have to do that, right?
But also that they will add some other ones into the cycle into the thing. I think there's rumors of a Mandalorian based mission or something related to that. So that would be really great because you get some rewritability, kind of like Star Tours. You don't know which that one's not even close to the caliber of ride that Smuggler's Run is, but because you get kind of this different, they keep updating it and adding new experiences in Star Tours. You want to try it every time you go. Mm-hmm. So,
I agree.
And pilot's position is definitely the place to sit.
And Chris, where did you sit?
Why do you always turn to me for the whatever, my planes? Yeah, so I had to beat up a little 9-year-old, but I got pilots.
So,
I got pilots though, but I got it.
No problem with that.
No, he's got many years ahead of him. He can go.
And his parent clearly didn't care about him.
Yeah, they abandoned him. So to fill in the people that didn't get to experience this. So it was the 1, 2, 3. I have to count. There were 4 people, right? The 3 of us, and this little random 9-year-old kid, 9, 10, whatever he was. That Glenn or Andrew, you saw, like his parents went into or his family went into a different attraction and left him on his own. Is that what happened?
No, they were in line.
Not a different attraction, but I mean a different
group, right? Day, yeah.
Yeah, okay. they just didn't go into the same group.
Yeah,
right.
And I don't understand why. It didn't seem like they had a too large group, but even then, I don't know why they wouldn't split it up so that at least 2 people would be on this one and 2 people would be on the other one. Like
it was 3 people. It was the mom and the 2 sons.
So, I don't know what the logic behind splitting.
Right,
Well,
we all could have gone together.
Let me solve the mystery for you. This kid was a pain in the ass. That's all there is to it.
Well,
So
I'm starting to. Yes, I believe that.
so I,
That's why you had to smack him around.
We get up. Well, I'll get to that. So we went up to the cast member, and Andrew, I think you told me, well, you can ask for pilot because you're a pro. You've been on this thing like 190.
If you're not doing single rider, you can ask for which chair you want.
So I'm like, can I be pilot? Can I be pilot? Can I be pilot? Can I be pilot? And she's like, here, take this. And so handed me pilot, and then Glenn got pilot because he's Glenn. He always gets pilot. And I don't know where you were. You were like, steerage?
I was a gunner.
What were we doing? Oh, gunning. Right. I haven't done that one.
It always goes in order too. Pilot, gunner, and engineer.
It's humor. Yeah. So this little kid, he got gunner, right? Because it goes in order. Pilot, gunner. And so we're walking up, and he kept getting in front of me. He kept walking in front of me, guys, like he was going to go take the pilot seat, and he was just going to usurp, the control of the Falcon. And I'm like, "Excuse me, sir, I have a pilot's ticket right here. This says I'm a pilot." No, I didn't say that, but we're moving up there, and you have to wait on the little spots for it. I don't remember. I was so worried about my position that I forget. But do you stand on like your spots first? Is that what happened? Before you actually go into the ride?
Yeah, before you get on into like the cockpit, in the hallway when you get your mission from Hondo, you stand on your spots to kind of say, all right, because that's how they want you to get on the ride, so that way it's easier to load.
So this kid must be in movies because he's a great actor because we get up there. And he's like, just like, I think I go here. I think I stand here. He's like he's trying to figure it out. I'm like, I think you're gunner, so you're behind me. And he's like, oh, really? I don't know. And then we start walking, and he walks in front of me again, like he's just going to go grab the pilot seat. And I had to say to him again, no, I said, I think gunner's back there with my good friend Andrew. Like, he'll teach you how this goes. And thankfully, the kid took the message because I was not. I hate to tell you guys this, but I was not going to back down. I mean, it was gonna. If it came to blows or something, I was not going to give up that position. So, it's probably the only time he's ever been to Disney World. But he was 9, so he can come back anytime. 10, 12, whatever he was. He's got a whole long life ahead of him. He can come back and be a pilot.
Yeah, he's probably already been on it multiple times that day.
Yeah, probably. And I'd never been pilot before. I really wanted to do the thing where you do the thing with the Starfield thing, and I got to do that. And so. Let me tell you, but Andrew, you've ridden it, but most normal mortals haven't ridden the ride 32 times. But I've ridden it twice now. The first time was way in the back, way back, as the engineer. Is that the stupid title we had?
Yeah.
And by the way,
fix things.
Guys, not to be a nerd, but there aren't 6 seats in the Millennium Falcon cockpit. Glenn actually watched Empire Strikes Back just randomly later in that weekend. We're like, see, there's only 4 seats. Anyway, regardless. So the first time I did the attraction way in the back, and I was like, yeah, it's okay. I had more fun looking at the chessboard in the room before that. But totally different attraction riding it from the front. And Glenn doesn't know because Glenn, he's always up front. But it's a way better attraction from the front than the back. There's probably nothing they could do to make it more even. But my impression of the ride went way up doing the second off as a pilot. Even though I think the controls are still bogus, but whatever.
Well, speaking of the controls, and Andrew, you can correct me, but it seems like so I was in Chris's seat the first time with the you have up down, and then I was in the Han seat this time, and I have left and right. And
first of all, hang on. Who designs a spaceship like that? That's all I want to know. Like, what's up with those Corellians that they're like, one person can't do both those things?
Exactly.
Anyway.
But the one thing I found was that doing left and right was way more responsive than doing the up and down. So when you did up and down, go ahead.
Sensitive. They're both pretty, and when you ride it a bunch of times, you start to try and teach other people how to ride it better.
Yes, we noticed.
Or to fly it better. It's like you get in and you're like, okay, the controls are very sensitive. Light touches, left, right, up, down. Like don't push on it because we're just going to bounce off the sides of the little bounding box that keeps you in, from actually flying off the planet or whatever,
Yeah.
And then it's also like, oh, and then it's going to flash in the middle button on the left side. It's going to flash, and you press it so we don't hit the train in the middle of the thing. And it's like, and everyone, you just press and hold the firing buttons on the gunners, so that way you don't actually have to keep pressing it. You can just hold it and it'll keep firing. All these like little things. And honestly, I was learning from some other people, because the single riders, you start kind of cycling with the other single riders and kind of like trading tips on how to maximize your credits that you get out of it. Which there's a maximum of 13,000 credits.
Oh wow!
And but we've only ever made it to, like, our group was only making it to 11,000. So
Our group this time, or you're saying that's the maximum you've ever?
Yeah, because we've kind of formed like a single rider group that you just
That's awesome.
And it's just like, all right, so hey, we should, because we were trying to get a higher score, because there's like, I don't know that you get anything, but there's a higher tier of, because it like grades your performance on
Actually,
avoiding things, and how firing accuracy on the other things, and making sure you can get 2 of the power pod things from the train. That all adds up to your score. And so we had some people who were like, yeah, if we've all been on this enough times that if we wrote it, we would get a perfect score. We didn't, but
yeah. Now that you mention that, didn't Disney tout that was going to be one of the things in Galaxy's Edge? Like, if you did get a good score on Smuggler's Run, then like other characters would know that from your Magic Band or whatever and kind of react to that. Or did I just completely make that up?
No, that's you're absolutely right. That's what that was part of the interactiveness of the whole land, was that depending on how you did on the attractions, that's how the characters in the land would react to you.
So have you experienced that, Andrew? On the like, if you guys got a good score, did like Kylo Ren come and yell at you?
No.
Oh, that's disappointing. All right, and what score did we get? Because I know you looked.
We didn't write it down, but it was below 10,000.
It was so low to not matter.
I think it was like 8,500 or something like that.
7768.
Oh, you got a picture of it. Great.
Wow, guy, such a nerd. So, like, I don't even know where you look to find that score. Where do they show that?
It's actually on in the pilots. It's on the left side, which was more.
Oh, they didn't cover that in pilot school. Okay,
no.
All right.
Next to your hyperspace level.
That's all I cared about. I was just doing that. All right. Sorry, I interrupted. What were we talking about? Smuggler's Run.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I was. I mean, I totally trust Andrew's impression, because he's very experienced. But I did wonder, like, just because. What am I trying to say? In a video, there's more left and right room than there is up and down, just because it's rectangular. I'm wondering if that's what you sensed, with doing that left right
that could,
kind of steering.
And that could be it. And I did, when I first was starting, I was going far left, far right, and there's actually on the dashboard a little representation of the Falcon and how you're actually moving. And I started looking at that to try to keep it straight. And yes, you're right, Andrew. So I started to realize, oh wait, I don't need to really go too far left or right. And so anyway, it does take a little bit of practice. But yeah. And that's what I remember, is that going up and down, I was like, it didn't seem like I had as much of an impact as when I was in the other seat going left and right.
But the right pilot gets to jump to light speed, which is basically
that's all I needed to do. I think
that's right.
So
that's all that matters.
So I was going to ask you what your favorite position was, Andrew, but that seems wrong. So what is let me leave a gap here so he can edit that out. So what's your favorite job? Is it pilot, or like are people missing a nuance of like engineer or gunner that they should appreciate more?
So pilot is definitely the most fun to do, and you feel like you have the most control over the enjoyment of the whole thing, because you're if you have 5-year-old pilots, that ride can be very unpleasant because you're basically bouncing into everything as you go, and it is not as fun as a smoother, more. It's still aggressive in the movements and the drops and the stuff, but you're not bouncing into things, so it's not as violent. I like Engineer. And maybe I've done that the most times, but it's also the furthest back you are, and you say you like the front. It's a better experience. In the back, I feel like you're not as close to the cockpit and the screen, so you get a better view.
Oh, okay. So you kind of okay. Yeah,
it's also, I think, the simplest job. So you get to
I don't remember it requiring any sort of complex training or anything.
Really, no skill at all.
I just mashed buttons when they lit up. Whatever. Huh. Okay. Yeah. I did. I think I've heard others say that too. That further back, at least, you kind of get more of the scene of the ship that way. But all right. Did you ever have to fight off a 10-year-old to get one of the jobs?
No.
Okay.
I don't think I would have though either.
I was not letting that go. Anyway, all right. So Smuggler's Run. I liked it way more than the first time I wrote it. So
yeah. Well, me too. I mean, because I knew I kind of knew what to expect, and actually the biggest difference too was we had a couple minutes before we got on to actually explore a little bit and get a couple pictures at the chess table and everything else. So,
not just
I really just want a glass of blue milk and just let me sit in there for a little while. That's all I care about.
Yeah, so that's the next thing I was going to bring up is
I know.
Pretty much our next stop was getting blue milk. Now, when we were there in September, I had read, and this will teach me never to listen to Twitter or
internet,
Instagram, the internet,
full of lies.
We covered this already.
God, is it ever? Because
lies.
Everybody's like, oh, the texture's slimy and it's not that good. And so I was even this time it was, and so we didn't get anything the first trip, and then so this time you talked me into it, and it's like
I was going to say it required much more debating and conversation than I expected. But.
Oh my God! And I got that thing, and it was so good, so good.
Do you think
I don't remember that much discussion. I feel like we just made the decision. And
I was nervous.
You must have trailed off or something.
I did walk away because I was going to look at the prices and what was in the two sides. Okay, that's
because you're embarrassed.
I'm going to let these two sort that out about
whether or not over a glass of blue milk,
and then
and it may be that I'm adding the two different trips together because remember Glenn and I were there back in September and we talked about that. But it seems like such an iconic thing. You gotta try it. Do you think maybe they changed the recipe at all? Like, did people complain so much that it was like too slimy that they modified it? Do you think that might be the case?
I have no idea.
Yeah, we'll never know.
Because it certainly wasn't. It was more like a smoothie, like cold and like a slushy almost.
Now, did you get the rum version or not the rum version?
No, I didn't. I got the blue milk, just the regular blue milk, not the green milk. So, what did you get?
Well, and Andrew, that was the first time you had it as well, or no?
That was the first time.
Okay. What'd you think of it?
Because I don't spend money at Disney World.
Yeah, I was going to say that, but I didn't want to call you out again.
They are losing money on you, man.
Wow, they really are.
Lord.
There's this guy Andrew that he is not fitting into the model.
No kid, like I own stock. You need to start spending some money, man.
Yeah, that
Do
Disney.
your part.
They're in dire straits.
They
People
are.
spending more money.
I'm sure they really need my $8.
But what do you think of it?
So the way I would describe it as melted blue popsicle.
Yeah,
and the flavor blue, not blueberry, but just blue popsicle.
Right. Not raspberry, not just blue.
Just blue, the flavor blue.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed it. I was surprised. The milk part is like a rice and coconut milk. So it's not dairy. If anyone was worried about like a blue dairy kind of thing, or especially if, from the movies, it's milk from an animal, and so this is a non-dairy milk, and I think that was because I was nervous about it, and I was going to do it, but it was like, what is this? Why are people buying this, standing in line to get this? But
and they're not cheap. What was well, Andrew and I got the rum version, right? Because I'm doing the rum version.
Well, it was like, if it's bad, at least there'll be rum.
You're right. That was exactly the logic. Is like, if it is bad, it'd be like, well, at least for the rum, I'll push through. But it was like $12-$13, right, for that, and not in a giant cup. Is it like $8? I think for the non.
Yeah, I think it's $8.
The kiddie version.
Yeah, and I think it's $14 for the alcohol version.
Woo! Is that how much I spent? Wow.
Yeah.
But it was good. I'd be tempted to do it again if when I get back to where's that place? Batu. Yeah. Okay. So thumbs up all around on the blue milk.
Yeah.
I would try green, except and I wonder if you could ask them to change it. But the green milk you have to get with tequila if you want the alcohol.
Oh,
which,
I would imagine the way they add it, like
they should be able to do it, right? Just like
yeah. I would rather that with rum.
I'll try. I'll report back. I'll let you know how it goes.
Excellent.
All right, but I'll be at Animal Kingdom, so no hope. All right. What else do we do? It feels like we were there for a long time. What else did we do?
That's pretty much. I mean, we walked around a lot and took a bunch of pictures, but other than that,
Chris, we got you over to the first order side of the.
Oh, that's
right.
That's
right.
I hadn't been on that.
The perk's so big that you still haven't experienced all of.
But I think what it is partly I'm because I know it's not that large of a land. Like I could have really used an entire Star Wars theme park, but so I'm like just kind of microdosing through the thing just to make sure I get all the little peats. And like you said, there's just so much theming. It's like so like everywhere you look, it's like, oh my god, look at that, look at that, look at that. It's like everywhere. Yeah, but you guys, maybe you're gonna get to it, Glenn. But what about our special picture? We commemorated the event.
We did. So Casey List kind of tipped us off that this existed. But so while we were over by Smuggler's Run and by Cargo 7?
Sure.
Restaurant. Anyway, we found the place where they did the photo pass that Casey was talking about, where you look off into the distance and they have a camera way over, and they did the effect where they took your picture and then when we got the photo pass, it zooms out and then zooms back in. It's really cool, and I'll post it if that's okay with y'all.
Fine with me.
We got photo bombed, but
I know.
I'm okay
it's
with
hard not to, I guess. But we just gotta do it again, I guess.
Absolutely.
So,
that's
Glenn,
right.
You gotta come down.
So that was cool. Yeah, I didn't. I mean, it was. That was really cool. That's probably one of the best PhotoPass opportunities that I've ever done.
Yeah, and we talked about it when Casey was on, but I still agree. It's one of the best perks of having that and part of the annual passes and stuff. Do you have that as part of your passes, Andrew? Do you and your mom get a PhotoPass?
No, we don't.
Oh. So you have to upgrade to gold.
So she has the weekday pass. So
there's a weekday pass?
Yeah, there's a weekday only pass.
I didn't know.
Which is, I don't know, it's like the select. It's the one below silver, I guess.
All right.
And then,
I think they added that later. Yeah.
Well, I think it's like on par with what's the one where it's like they can pick random days and you can go to this park but not these parks.
Yeah.
There's another one that's similar, but I think the weekday is a little bit more expensive. And then I have this silver one because free parking and so I could go on the weekends if I want to. So
wait a minute, are you telling me there's a pass that like you don't know what park you're going to? You have to like ask. Like, is that what you just said?
No, I it's more flexible in the blackout dates. So you have less days where you can't go to Disney World.
That thing.
Right.
Okay.
But you have you can't go to Magic Kingdom on Fridays and Saturdays.
Right.
Okay, because I thought the random park sounds kind of fun. Just like you don't know where you're gonna go to. Make that super cheap and like we're just gonna balance out the crowds.
Yeah, that would be pretty smart.
It's for people who want to go to Disney a lot, but don't care. Yeah, don't care which park they go to, and so Disney tells you, okay, you can't go to these parks.
Animal Kingdom again.
And we
right. That's what you get.
We're not very good at planning too about what park we're going to go to. It's very as we are getting ready for that morning. It's like, all right, we're going to go to this park, which really doesn't work well for like fast pass planning or
that's true.
But it's kind of spur of the moment. It's like, how are we feeling? Which park looks least busy? So,
how do you judge that? Do you just look at wait times and stuff?
Yeah, I mean, it would be great if there was a good way to see an overall crowd feel.
That would be nice. If only there was a way
something
to do
like that existed.
if only you guys had the pre-release version, the beta version. There's more features. Yeah, maybe soon. Cool. I feel like we did more, but it's just.
Well, we went to Doc Ondo's, the Antiquities.
Oh yeah,
we did.
That place is so like it could have been 3 times as it could have been 3 times larger. I do have a question though. Like so you were looking for a yellow lightsaber crystal, right?
Yes, kyber crystal. Yes.
Did you get one?
I did.
Did you use it?
I did.
And
I found out the batteries in my lightsaber had died since the last time I had played with it.
Well,
wait. So you're not checking that out daily and making sure it's
I'm actually
well
not,
serviced. No.
Oh, funny
Very
thing, I don't remember
disappointing.
in any of the 27 Star Wars movies them ever changing the batteries in a lightsaber.
That's crazy, right? I know.
Weird.
Well, I'm like, I go to turn it on. I'm like, wait, what is the crystal bad? Like, what is going on? And I put the other one. I'm like, oh no, dummy, the batteries are probably dead.
The batteries.
We're lucky that Disney didn't put the batteries in those, $30 crystals.
Yeah, no kidding. No, don't don't give them ideas. Hello.
So, all right. So you got yellow because I don't know. Are we outside of the spoiler zone? Can we? Well, whatever. I guess.
Yeah, I mean, it's been like if you haven't seen it yet, then
Yeah. All right.
The yellow, there was a yellow lightsaber in Rise of
Which
Skywalker.
we had never seen before, right?
that's right. And so, because all of the cast members are in character, like. I'm afraid to. I'll be honest. I'm afraid to ask anybody anything because I know I'm going to get some stupid answer instead of the actual. Like it's like, look, do you have the yellow kyber crystal? And I was waiting for like some kind of story. Or it's like, and she actually did answer. She said, "Oh, we've always had them." And it's like, okay,
I don't
did you
understand
know in September that was going to be a special kyber crystal? Genius. No, you didn't. So don't act like I'm, like I should have known that.
I think it was a lie, Glenn. I don't think they had the yellow ones early on.
No, they did.
They
after
did?
she said it and I saw it, I'm like, oh, yeah. Because I was thinking, who would buy the yellow? That's silly.
Oh, you didn't? Okay. Because I thought she was sort of trying to retcon something into like, oh, no, these have always been here, in character, whatever.
Because they have a white one, too, and I still don't know where the heck the white one comes from.
Yeah, we saw a dude with a...
Yeah, it didn't look good
dual...
either.
No, it looked like he had a couple of fluorescent bulbs taped together, to be honest.
Yeah.
All right.
So anyway, I got the yellow one.
Well, and you guys know about the black one, too. The ultra rare one, right?
Oh, do you want to hear the story about that one?
Oh, boy.
Did you get one?
No. Well, no. Okay, so we're there opening weekend, and we watch a ton of Disney, YouTubers and stuff, and so we stumbled upon one that from Disneyland that showed if you hold your phone's flashlight up to the container, you can tell if it's red or black in there, and so I was trying to distract because they have a person standing right in front of the
Prevent
kyber
you
crystals.
from doing that. Yeah.
Yes.
What'd you do? Did you do that like Obi-Wan, like make a noise off in the distance?
Well, I was trying to
Throw your voice.
Keep her distracted while my daughter was behind her going through the red ones to try to find one. And she caught a glimpse of her, like out of the side of her eyes, and she was like, "Oh, you can't do that!" And she freaked out, and
that's just wrong.
It's like,
why not? Why not?
I know.
They've added like film or something over them now, so you can't tell.
Okay. So no, I didn't get a black one. I just got a red one. But we tried. We gave it the whole college try.
Hey, kind of along those lines of change. Did you see they're selling sporks now, Glenn?
Oh, don't even get me started on that. Yeah. Actually, the weekend after I got back, like the day after I got back, they started selling them.
Do you think it's the sporks that they can no longer actually use in the restaurants? They just say, all right, let's repackage these and sell them to the guests?
I think that's exactly what it is.
100%. That's I agree.
Because otherwise they're just sitting in crates doing nothing. I mean, they're never going to put them out again. So,
well, I'm upset because now anybody can just go buy one. So it makes mine just a little bit less special, but it's still special.
How do you have one then if you didn't buy it?
It's still special because I got it opening weekend, and we actually used it. So
yeah, we can engrave opening weekend on it. However, we got those.
Shut up. I know.
Yeah, it's funny because I imagine this conversation exactly as it happened. I'm like, I should ask Glenn how he feels about it. I'm like, no, here's what he's going to say, and I'm glad you held it for him.
Did you get it when it fell off the back of a light speeder?
That's right.
It just showed up in my bag.
We had a whole thing, and I hope no cast members are listening.
No.
But so they had cast members standing at each trash bin, and so I'm like, okay, so they're checking to make sure you're returning your sporks and everything else you're supposed to return. And so I said, all right, guys, look, because we had 5 or 6 of them. And so we clearly we put, like 4 of them out of the 6, all over the trays and made sure they were decoys. And we may have, a couple of them may have found their ways to our backpacks.
I had nothing to do with this. He threatened my family if I didn't.
But I'm like, we got it. We can't just take 6 of them. Like we gotta offer the gods some sporks back so that we can adopt 2 of them.
And how much are they going for? Like $11 or more?
No, I think it's like $16 each.
Wow! But remember, we talked about it. Like, why don't they just sell these? They should just sell these.
I agree.
Apparently they listened.
Yeah.
Well, they can't sell them and also let you borrow them, because then that actually gives them an explicit value. It's like,
that's right.
Why would I buy it?
Well, what they should have done, seriously, and I think what they still should do is, okay, sell the metal ones, but why not come up with plastic ones that are just like that?
Completely agree.
I mean, right?
Yes, completely agree.
It's within the theming, but they're disposable. Who cares what they, recycle them, whatever. But if you want to buy a metal version of it, here you go.
Yep, agreed.
So
make it so.
They could do a deposit system, where they
you get money back on you.
No kidding.
But they were watching those trays come back like hawks, right? Like space hawks, like Batu hawks.
They were.
Yeah. Anyway, I can't believe you admitted you stole one of those. It's crazy.
What I adopted.
You adopted. It's like in foster care at your house.
It's in right. I have an archival spork.
It's an out of state backup.
That's right.
Like
it's
the
better
Smithsonian.
Than the crate life that it was going to have after they canceled them.
In what I imagine is like the Indiana Jones
exactly
closing scene.
Yep.
Yeah. All right.
Speaking of cast members posted at places, we walked by Rise of the Resistance after.
Oh yeah.
And they had like this barricade of cast members, and this was after the last boarding group had been called, so there was no other guests that were going to get on the ride. But there was literally 20 cast members forming a line, preventing people from trying to get into that line.
It's like they were expecting.
I'm actually not sure what they were doing.
Like a riot. Like
what they were
people were
supposed to be doing.
Storm the thing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It was. I did not expect.
We could have made it through. One of us could have made it through.
Oh, absolutely.
But it looked like they were ready to lock arms in case. I mean, they were that close together.
Maybe it's too soon, but it was like the Hong Kong riots. They were locked arms and they weren't letting anybody in. We could have done it. One of us would have survived. One of us would have gotten through. Next time.
Next time.
All right. What else? Is that it? Oh, remember? I don't remember what she said. Because we've talked about the role playing they do there. Andrew, remember you and I were standing somewhere while Glenn was doing whatever picture thing he was doing, and probably spending money on something. And remember, there was a cast member. She walked up and she started to spark up a conversation with us. She was like a janitorial person or something.
I think she was. I don't think. Well, I don't know what her role was. It seemed like it was just kind of a floater cast member person that kind of. Maybe a janitor, but I don't know.
Yeah, it struck me odd because she struck up the conversation with us. Like you and I were just chit chatting, and then she's like, "Oh, I want it. Let's play. Let's do some role playing."
Exactly. And so we asked her because we said Bright Suns, and I was like, "Well, what are you supposed to say at night?" And she goes, "Rising Moons." Or we say Rising Moons, but we also know English, which I thought was. I was like, "All right, you're not even playing along at this point." It's like. And then she's like, "Well, where are you from?" And we said Earth, and she goes, "Well, where on Earth?"
Well, that's right. That's right. And I'm like,
and then her iPhone started ringing. She's like, I have to go.
Oh,
yeah, she's like, oh, I have to take this. And didn't she make some mention like, oh, we have these on Batu as well, or did I may have just imagined it?
I think it was just this really awkward, and because she was ignoring it for a sec, like a little bit.
She's like, I gotta take this. It's probably your supervisor saying, stop bothering the guests, go sweep something. A for effort for her. She was really trying. She paid attention in her Batu class. Yeah, well, I know you love those kind of exchanges, Glenn. So
I hate them.
It's too bad you
I
weren't
thank God it was you two and not me.
I know you. You would have just kind of floated away.
I would have. I would have been like Homer Simpson going back into the bushes. That would have been me.
Yeah, awesome. There isn't enough rum-filled blue milk for you for that.
No, there's not.
Great. Yeah, and after that, I think we just wandered out, right?
Pretty much, yeah.
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 I
You
love that
caught
place.
glimpses of the, what is it called? The Galactic Spectacular or something?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, all this time I've been wanting to see that fireworks / projection show that they do. And then, Glenn, I think you told me that night, you're like, it's okay. And I'm like, oh, he's just being Glenn. But then we watched it for a couple minutes on our way out, and I'm like,
Yeah.
It was like,
I mean, if it's basically a clip show.
Yeah, you
of
called it, and I'm like, yeah, that's kind of what it is. It's just like,
And then it's like all thematic, it's like, well, here's all the, Darth stuff, and here's, so it's all red and themed. So you're red fireworks and, red lasers, and then you're going to go to the more sentimental, funny stuff with the droids, and you're going to have blue lights and electricity crackles. And
that's it. So, yeah, I'm glad I didn't go out of my way to see that then. But I wish Galaxy's Edge were like 4 times the size. Whatever.
Yeah, that would be cool.
They also had to put it all the way in the back of the park, so you have to walk all the way back.
They just take down the rest of the park and just make it all Galaxy's Edge, the whole thing. There's nothing else there worth saving. Now that one man's dream, that's gone, right? That's not there.
No, it's there. It's still
Is
there.
it still there? Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, I thought you liked that.
Well,
thing.
I do. I love it. But I think it's called Walt Disney Presents now.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
And so the first part is still the same. So they still have, Walt Disney's history to a point. And then they still have some, models of, I think Cinderella Castle might still be there, but they took out his office, and they actually took the furniture back to Burbank to put in his actual office again. So they give tours of that. Out there in California, but yeah, so they took that out, and then they used to have like the future things coming and all, and so now it's like they put character meet and greets in there, and I think the movie for the most part is usually like a extended trailer of whatever the next movie's coming out. Like I don't think they have the Disney history movie anymore. I could be wrong about many things there, but generally that's kind of it. It's not the same as it used to be. Like everything.
Old man. Hey, speaking of Burbank in California, I think Andrew makes trips to LA from time to time, and he might be making more soon. I think he should plan an extra day and go to Disneyland and then come back and tell us about his adventure.
I agree.
Absolutely. And I actually have a new reason to go to California Adventure, because I learned that the Backlot Express or the Backlot Tour tram is still at California Adventure, which they removed to make Galaxy's Edge at Hollywood Studios.
Right.
I don't know if it was that or the Toy Story Land, but one of those two killed one of my favorite things to do at Hollywood Studios.
Oh, I didn't know you were such a fan.
Yeah, that and Vice Motor Action, which is not a California Adventure. But...
Oh, you did say that. Yeah, I never caught on to that. Did you like LMA as the kids call it, Glenn?
I saw it once.
Oh.
It was it was okay. It was fun to watch, sure. But I didn't do it more than one time.
Yeah. I was against it just because they ripped out the neighborhood where they did all the Osborne lights to build that, which that's
yeah. Well, I did. I did hold a grudge for a long time, but then
you're good at that. I know.
But I saw it not too long before they tore it out. So.
Oh no! I just realized now I'm holding grudges about things because
it
of things they've removed.
Disney's like you imprint, and that's why I like to understand where people kind of have their experience, because you imprint on whatever it was at the time that you kind of first, when it grabbed hold of you. So that's funny. Anyway, all right, Glenn, what else do we have today?
That pretty much wraps up our Disney adventure from a couple weeks ago, or last weekend before last.
All right. So
when
are you coming back?
Yeah, I know, right? I don't know. I got the next. Actually, I was thinking about the recording schedule. I don't know that we're going to have another opportunity to record before I go on my cruise.
Wow. It's that
So
time already.
I think the next episode will be a cruise recap,
Wow.
right?
Do you feel so much lighter without all that money weighing you down?
Oh, it's so nice. It's like I'm floating on air.
Well, awesome. I truly can't. I joke, but I truly can't wait to hear about it. So, have you ever been on? I don't think you've been on a Disney cruise, right, Andrew?
No, I have not.
Ever even think about it? Like, is it ever like or are you just like a theme park guy?
Yeah, we've like family. We've talked about going on cruises. I think Disney is always the more expensive option.
Yeah. Oh gosh.
What?
Super
No.
expensive.
And most people don't. They're not seeing that there's a difference, or
Yeah,
that it's worth the difference.
Yeah.
I would go, but it's hard to get everyone else.
Yeah.
To agree.
You get it. All right. Well, Glenn, I can't wait to hear about your trip. Trip report. So take good notes. Like Andrew was a master at notes, so take some lessons there.
No kidding.
All right, Andrew, you had a question, or you brought up something earlier today. I said, you know what? Let's talk about it when we do the show, and because I didn't know what the heck you were talking about. So
Wait, you didn't? You don't know?
I really don't.
Okay.
Let's see if Glenn knows. He'll probably know. He knows everything. So let's round it out with I don't know, is it a trivia question? Mystery question? What is it? Whatever. Glenn will come up with some theme music. So we were talking, it came up because we were talking about, like, you can always tell, like, who the kind of quasi-management people are in the parks, because they have, like, nicer wardrobe and those little gripper things, like,
the
they
garbage
just walk
picker.
around and, that they pick up stuff off the ground. And then you mentioned what? What did you say?
I was like, and what's with the blue shirted people? Because I'm pretty sure this is new in the last year, or I've noticed it, that there are now these, and actually I think it might have been since Galaxy's Edge, that there are now these guest experience kiosk people. They stand there with, and actually when you arrive in the park, you now get a push notification on the app that says, hey, thanks for visiting Hollywood Studios. We like to make your stay magical. And you could talk to, if you wanted extra magic or something, go talk to this person, these blue shirted people. And they're wearing blue shirts and they're under a blue umbrella. And I didn't know if you'd ever interacted with one of these things for one of these extra magic experiences. I don't know if...
I didn't know what you meant, and I'll toss it to Glenn in a second. I didn't know what you meant, but now that you've described it, I saw on Twitter just a couple of days ago, somebody posted a picture, I think it was from Disneyland, though, of, like, Peter Pan talking to somebody under this umbrella that said, like, guest experience something or other, like you're describing. So I guess you're not making it up. It's really a thing.
It really is. It's like in Hollywood Studios, it's right there outside of Star Tours, I believe, in that, like, that crook where you have to go either down towards the entrance or over to the Indiana Jones ride. There's a tent and they kind of just stand there.
Have you seen these, Glenn? When you're in your solo adventure round, did you notice blue shirted people?
I can't remember. No, I can't remember seeing them. That doesn't mean I didn't, but I didn't notice them.
Because I was just wondering what gap are they filling that they didn't? I don't know.
Is it
Kinda
just like it's not like an information thing? Like you're like, how do you get to Galaxy's Edge? It's like a.
And I wish I had the actual text of the push notification because.
Oh, okay.
And what I think it is, and because I've seen some videos now where people will, I don't know, request unusual experiences with a character, or there was one where they got Darth Vader, or I think it was Darth Vader, to tell the guy that he was going to be a father or something.
Oh, I see.
And I think it's like this
Okay.
this
I get it
mechanism where you can kind of talk about these out of abnormal experiences, these extra experiences you can do.
It's my kid's birthday. He really likes Kylo Ren.
Exactly.
Can he?
Exactly.
I get it.
That's what it feels like, but it's very understated. But that's kind of what it implies. I've never bothered to ask.
And the photo I saw, it looked like one of those, those little, not a tent really, but those things they put up at like sports things or whatever, where it's just like the cover and like the 4 posts, like, just like a little pop-up cover thing.
Kind of like a cabana. But
No, it was even lower rent than a cabana.
what?
But no, not that big, but just like you'd cover like 2 to 4 people, like pretty small. Like it seemed pretty. Maybe they're just testing it out or something. I don't know. Is that kind of what you saw, Andrew? Kind of like a small cover.
Yeah, it's like it's an umbrella but square.
Yeah, right.
A little bit bigger than for like 2 people.
Yeah.
But they also have like iPads or in cases. I assume that's for like arranging fast passes or something like that. But
I hadn't. Now I'm gonna have to pay more attention to those blue shirted people. I wonder if they call them that. Blue shirts. The only ones I ever see are like the plaid. I know the ones in the plaid outfits. Those are like the VIP
the
directing people.
Yeah.
We saw a lot of those, right? Because Glenn, you said there was some sports ball game happening when you were down.
There was, yes.
Yeah. So Pro Bowl, right? Is that what it's
Pro
called?
Bowl, yes.
Yeah.
NFL
See,
Pro Bowl.
I'm all about
Look
the
at
sports.
you.
I'm all about the sports.
That's right.
Real time follow up.
Yes.
It's a new guest experience team will assist guests starting December 16th, 2018. So it was
2018.
Wait, 2018.
Yeah, so it was all last year is when they started showing. They were made permanent later in 2019, but
And they don't charge for this, huh?
Well,
seems odd.
I was just gonna say though, maybe they instituted this because you're paying so much for your vacation that
maybe.
They want people to feel like, oh hey, if I need something I can go to somebody like a concierge kind of.
So can I go to one and say my day would be much more special if you get rid of about half of these people out of the park? Will they do that for me?
Probably not, but you can ask.
I'm gonna try.
See what they do.
Tell you how it goes. All right. Well, I got nothing else to complain about. So,
yeah.
Glenn, Andrew?
No, it was the only thing. It was great meeting Andrew. I had a great time Friday night. That was awesome.
I agree. I should go to Disney with podcasters more.
Yeah, it seems nice. I'm glad you came out too. Like I said, I would have been surprised because I know you have a lot going on at work, but I'm glad you came out. It's nice.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. It was really great to meet Glenn.
I don't hear that a lot.
Yeah, I've never heard that. Not even from my wife. Like she's like, meh.
It was great to meet Glenn for such a short period.
Right. Oh, thank God he left.
Yeah.
That's my favorite part.
All right. Listen, I got to go read up on Animal Kingdom and see what I'm going to enjoy doing this weekend.
Safaris, 2 of the nature walks, and the Finding Nemo musical.
Wait, walking? Seriously? All right. I'll look into it. All right, guys.
All right.
Well, till next time.
Till next time.
Hey, Glenn.
Yeah.
Bon voyage.
Oh, thank you.
All right. See you when you get back.
Bye.
All right.
Yeah,
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for joining us on another episode of Starport 75. Follow Chris on Twitter and Instagram at CBGray, and Glenn on Twitter and Instagram at DizWiz. Follow the show on Twitter and Facebook at Starport75 and Instagram at TheStarport75. For all things related to the show, including show notes and links to connect with us, visit us at starport75.com.